Make sure you leverage the power of questions. It's your responsibility. It's one of your gifts. And if you can back that, those questions by data, so it's a lot more focused, it's a lot less emotional.
Until right now, this very moment, contractors have always been on their own, not as tradespeople, but being alone and knowing how to take their business to the next level. They call us working class, they call us blue collar. They say that we don't have the smarts to become the business owner that we're meant to be. That is such bullshit. You have the ability. You're more than any of that. The question really is, where do you get the insights that you need specific to contracting to systemize your business so you can get your profits to pay for your freedom? I'm Andrew Houston. I'm going to show you how to make more profits, how to get more control, how to get more freedom in the simplest, quickest way possible without any of that bullshit. Welcome to the No Bullshit Podcast for Contractors. Listen up, level up, and if you learn something, like the video, subscribe to the channel, change your business, change your life.
Hey, Rockstars, Andrew Houston here with another No Bullshit Podcast for contractors, you guys. What do I want to talk to you about today? I want to talk to you about one of the most powerful things that you can have and you need to apply in your business as a leader, as a champion CEO. And it's super simple and you all have it in you and you can apply it like instantly after this podcast or even partway through this podcast and really help your business in a lot of different ways. One way is, if you're looking at getting more control of your business, you want to listen in on this. You want to get better use of your time, you want to listen in on this. If you want to really be able to expand your ability as a leader, this is the episode for you. So let's get into this. And I'm gonna cut right to the chase about what this thing is. It's asking questions. You might be like, what? Yes, it's asking questions. This is, not my first business as far as profit for contractors. I've had a few. And I think this principle of, as a leader, asking questions when, you're looking at something, it just doesn't seem right. Asking questions just to get clarity. Asking questions in all aspects of the business. Whether that's, and I mean all aspects. I mean, from the daily tasks of and the roles and responsibilities of people to ask them, how they're making out, asking them, what systems are you putting in place? I mean, but let's just come back to, instead of going through 1,000 different questions, the power of questions. The thing about questions is this: the answers that you get are a direct correlation to the level of question that you're asking. And I'm going to give you a couple of techniques as far as what I use in asking questions. But I just want to be clear. If you're an owner of a contracting company and you got a question, whether that's to one of your team members, whether that's to a client, whether that's to a supplier, whoever that is, you have the right to ask those questions. You have the right to get clarity, to get the answers to those questions, because look, you are the owner. And in more cases than not, it's our responsibility as owners of a company, being a true champion CEO and taking ownership. One of those things is asking questions. The part two of this is, what do you do in situations where you've asked a question and people are willing to give you an answer? Well, if they're team members, if they're, employees, even if they're your partner, like in business, then you've got to really ask yourself the next level of question, which is like, why are they not willing to give me the answer? Taking this approach is a game changer. When I haven't taken this approach, when I've asked questions and people have pushed, back on me, hey, Andrew, you're interfering. Hey, Andrew, you're micromanaging. Hey, Andrew, you don't need to bother yourself with that. I've got it all under control. Anytime that I walked away from not getting, the answer to my questions, it's always been me in the ass. Okay, so keep asking questions. Your intuition in this case is one of the most powerful things that you can have. Now, based upon some of the previous recent podcasts, I've been talking about data-driven decisions. Data-driven decisions amplify your ability to ask questions, because it's not just going on emotion, it's going based upon data. But the net principle of this podcast is make sure you ask questions. Make sure you get clarity. Your job is, as an owner as a leader of your company is really to make sure that things are going in the right direction. And one of the things that allows us to validate that is asking questions that give us the confidence, that, give us those answers to go, yeah, it is going in the right direction. And, when if somebody doesn't have the answer for you, that's very different than somebody not wanting to give you an answer. What do I mean by that? Well, if somebody doesn't have the answer because they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the skill set, maybe they haven't looked into it, they haven't thought about it, they need some time, that's a different thing than somebody, that really pushes back on giving you an answer to something that, that they should know, or that they have an answer, but they're just not willing to give it to you. That's when the red flag goes on for me, big time, okay? The yellow flag goes on when, I'm asking somebody a question and I'm expecting them to have the answer, but maybe just, like I said, because skill set, lack of knowledge, lack of insights, lack of focus, maybe I've got them working with something, it's taking them off their focus and their roles and responsibilities, and they're not able to answer it. That's a bit of a yellow flag, and it's just a yellow flag in the sense that, we need to have a discussion and fix whatever it is that's holding them back from being able to give me that answer. But whenever, I cannot stress this enough, whenever somebody in your company, I don't care if it's your partner, of the business, I don't care if it's your right-hand person of the field or right-hand person in the office, if you get a sense that, in asking them a question about what's going on about something and, inquiry, and you can tell that they are pushing back on giving you an answer, that's a major red flag, okay? Major red flag to really question, like, is this person looking out for my best interest? Or are, they have some sort of malicious intent, or, they got some sort of plan outside of my vision of what I want them to do and what's been directed to them. So guys, the power of questions, back to the power of answers, is directly related to the value and the level of question you're asking. So as a champion CEO, don't hesitate to keep asking questions. All right. Don't hesitate to go with your spidey sense. And if somebody's pushing back, that's a big red flag as to whether or not you got the right person. If somebody's not able to give you an answer and for the various different reasons, but they got the right intent, they want to give you the answer, but maybe they did, like I said, don't have the time or what have you, that's a yellow flag. So that's a great opportunity to be a leader and empower them, whether giving them more time or giving them more insights or maybe give them, an upgrade in their skill set. But ideally what you want, which is, the green part of the traffic lights. We talked about the red, talked about the yellow, now we're talking about the green, is when you ask a question to somebody right away, they're almost excited to tell you the answer. They're excited to share with you, feedback, on that question. And the excitement is there because they're proud of what it is that they want to provide to you. They're excited because, they welcome you as the owner, as the leader, as the champion CEO, of actually, being inquisitive and really caring about how they're doing with, that area of the business. So make sure you leverage the power of questions. It's your responsibility. It's one of your gifts. And if you can back that, those questions by data, so it's a lot more focused, it's a lot less emotional. And think about this traffic light system, red, yellow, and green that I covered off. And I'm going to tell you something. It's a game changer to your business. I don't care if it's, looking at your financials and asking questions, if it's the performance of your team in the field, performance of the team in the office. I don't care if it's your suppliers, as far as what it is that, you require of them and the expectations. And it doesn't matter. Ask questions, okay? You have a right to ask those questions. It is your business. Don't let yourself go too far down the path of, especially in that red zone, of asking questions to people and them convincing you that, you don't need to know this information, or, that you're putting your nose in a place where you shouldn't. Like, you are the owner of the business. Take control of your business. Ask questions. You got every right, and it is your responsibility. And I will see you guys on the flip. So hopefully you enjoyed this short but sweet no bullshit podcast. And honestly, ask questions, no bullshit. See you in the flip.
Hey, rock stars, thank you for watching the No Bullshit Podcast for Contractors. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the subscribe button. And if you're serious about growing and need help, click on the link below. Myself and my team would love to help and give you the necessary tools so you can take your contracting business to the next level. And remember, dominate, delegate, and deliver.